Hi guys, and welcome to The Sage. My name is Catherine. Today I want to talk about energy and the energy that we transfer to others. And a lot of people are not aware of exactly that and what actually happens. So when you touch somebody, you give and receive your and their energy. So it's fascinating to really go into it and understand what happens. And I'm not even talking about yet the intimate side of things. I'm going to start to talk about animals and what sort of energy they give out. And so there is a reason why there's it. The experts say that cats and dogs, for people who have anxiety, that are elderly, that suffer in some way of emotional trauma, they become so much calmer and better in their suffering when they have an animal, a cat that they can sit and stroke, and the dog that they can have as company and sit there and touch. Because what happens is that it causes a transfer of calm. So it helps immensely that, number one, it's a companion. And so if you are alone or spend a lot of time on your own, that cat or dog can be an immense help. And just sitting and patting a dog or a cat is so calming and so relaxing and so relieving that stressful energy, because the calming effect of not being alone, because you have somebody there, and feeling their calmness calms you. So then you can look at, what do you give the dog or cat? Well, if you're completely stressed out, then you are probably going to give that dog or cat a little bit of your energy as well. But I think most of the time, if it's a dog or a pet, right? I'm talking pets here, not horses and cows and stuff. It will, because of that company factor, it will calm the energy. So I'm going to start talking about people. We all have experiences of meeting somebody that is completely stressed out. And if you spend time with that person, and if your energy isn't strong enough to calm that person down, then at the end of it, you're going to feel stressed. And you're not going to know how to help bring down that stressed energy of that other person, because you're starting to feel agitated. And so it says something to be trained in how to cope and how to speak to people that suffer enormous anxiety and enormous trauma. Hence, we have coaches and counselors to do that job. So they can, depending on the client or the person that they speak to, they can adjust according to what that person gives out. and the right questions to ask, and how to alleviate that stressed out energy that causes massive anxiety and trauma. And but when we look at life from day to day, you meet somebody, you go to a new office, for example, you start work and you come to a new workplace, and you might have 10 people in the office or 20 people in the office. Everybody carries a different energy. So we have all walked into a room, I can assume, where we have maybe felt the energy. So if you walk into a room and 2 people or 3 people are in there and they have had a massive argument, you can feel that energy. So you're not going to just walk in and go, hi, without feeling something. You feel that tenseness. And then maybe you start to look at the body language, but you can feel the energy. It's the same as you walk into a room and there's lots of loving people, and you'll feel that energy. Hence we have energy healers like Reiki and so forth. And so we come to the part where I want to talk about when people go out and pick up, right? Because they're, for whatever reason, they're feeling lonely, they've been single, whatever. And, people are so quick, I'm going to say that, they are quick to look at somebody and go, wow, he or she is really hot, right? I wouldn't mind spending the night with him or her. But what you don't know is who they're actually. Who are they? And what energy do they carry? And it's fascinating. Some people may not care. I don't care what he or she's the energy. I just want to share my body tonight, right? But what most people don't understand is that there is an energy transfer from body to body, especially when you're having sexual intercourse. And I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination on that area, but I know that whoever you decide to be intimate with, you transfer your energy to them and they transfer their energy to yours. Do you know them enough and to want to have their energy inside of you? Because that energy will affect your energetic essence within. And you might come home the morning after, or that night might not last very long, and go, oh, I don't feel that great. You know what I mean? I just feel really off now. And so we have an energy shift. Why do I feel like this? So one needs to be very mindful of, and really, know that person before you even go there. Take a bit of time, you know what I mean? And try to understand that person a little better, because their energy do have an effect on you. And also, if there is an exchange of fluids, you know, the way that the universe made us and the way that we connect with each other is that when we are intimate with somebody and we come together, there is a chemical within the body. It's called a bonding hormone. And so what happens is that this is why it's so difficult to break up with somebody, right? Because you've bonded with that person. Are you sure that you want to bond with the guy or girl that you picked up last night? You don't know them. And so this affects some people more than others, but it affects a lot of people. And so this is why it's so difficult, right? Even after a very short relationship. And when we first start having a relationship, we sort of, it's new and people are more intimate than after 10 years, you know what I mean? So that bonding process happens every time that you're intimate with each other. And so it has an effect. Unless you're completely cold-hearted and go, oh, whatever, you can just walk away and not realize. But it has an effect. And so it then will remind you that there's been bonding. So take that into consideration when you assess that relationship. How easily can I walk away from this? How emotional is it? And I guess with this video, I just want to point out that be mindful of who you touch. Be mindful who you are intimate with, especially because it's a bonding. Do you really want to bond with this person? You've got to take a step back out of the heat of the moment and go, do I really want to bond here? I'm not sure. He or she might be really hot, but is that even worth it? I don't know who they are underneath. So be very mindful of who you touch, who you spend your time with. And if you feel at some point that that you see red flags everywhere, then think about, yes, it's going to be emotional, but I'm going to walk away because this doesn't serve me at all. So don't be afraid to do walk away, to stop wasting and leaking your energy further. So I hope you guys found this helpful. It has taught me a few things in my life, and it is interesting that once you realize that this actually occurs, then you look at it. You see people different. And so just bear that in mind and be mindful who you spend your time with. Anyway, that's the video for today. I hope you guys found that helpful. If you did, if you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe maybe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. To follow the other videos that are coming. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.